I'm Farmer Leah. I'm our Education Program Manager, and I'm going to continue our soil adventures from a couple days ago with Farmer Kelly. Today we're going to paint with soil, and this activity is good for kindergarten through 5th grade as long as you have parent supervision. Before we get outside, you just want to make sure that you have 3 containers. They can be any size, but 3 containers and a shovel or a spoon to dig around in the soil with. All right, let's go. So you've probably seen that soil comes in a number of different colors. We're going to try to find 3. You can totally find more if you want, but I found first some orange clay here in my backyard, so I'm going to scoop some of this into one of my containers. If you don't have a shovel, it might take a little bit longer, and you can use a bigger shovel than what I have. But got my clay, you don't need a ton. And then I've also found some darker soil over here. And I'm going to scoop that into my second container. Pull out those leaves and roots. And then I'll go find a third. So if you've collected 3 of your soil samples, again, you can do more if you want, but we're going to do 3. If they happen to be a little bit wet, you're going to want to spread them out on a sheet of paper or wax paper to then lay out in the sun and dry out before you complete the next step. I'm going to go ahead and lay that one out because it's a little bit wet. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay my clay out and break up some of the bigger wet pieces if I can. And then my lighter. Alright, and I'm going to find a sunny spot to put those for a couple of hours to let them dry out. Alright, so I've let my soil dry out in the sun and I have my 3 different colors. Now I need to grind it into a really fine powder. So I'm going to do that with a hammer. You could also use like a flat type of rock or the bottom of like a bowl or a sturdy jar. But I'm just going to take my hammer. I could crush up some of this a little bit further, but I'm just going to tap on it and kind of grind it down into that fine powder, which you'll see in our next step as well. There might be some organic matter like mulch or some other things like rocks. I've got some rocks in this soil, and I'm going to want to separate those out as well as I go. So grind it into a powder, and then we'll make our paint. Alright, so I've ground up my soil into some fine powder, and you'll notice even here at the clay I had some that was like a more orange color and some that was more brown, so that could be 2 different colors of paint, but I'm actually going to mix it together. I'm going to take my powder and I'm going to put it into a bowl. I'm going to do the same with my gray. And the black. Now, I'm going to add just a little bit of water to each. If you've ever played with mud, we're just going to kind of try to make that type of texture. Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of my clay powder. And so we haven't talked about this yet, but the reason that soil is different colors is because of the minerals that are present in it, or the organic matter that's found in it. And so in like this clay type of soil, there's likely a lot of iron. In our darker soil, there's likely more organic matter, and this is actually the soil that farmers really love to use, and it's good for the plants. So we're just going to keep mixing and adding till we're happy. Okay, so I mixed my water with my soil particles. You can totally use them like this. However, if you have some glue at your house, you could add a few drops to each, and then we'll mix it up, and it gives it a more paint-like consistency. And then once you've got that mixed up, you can go ahead and start painting. If you have paintbrushes around, those are a great tool to use. You could also cut up some sponges and try some fun textures. Or if all else fails, just use your fingers. Everyone likes to finger paint. So go ahead and get creating with your soil.